live.
Oh,
Oh, I think we're live.
and crooked again.
Oh, we're crooked and we're live. We're live and crooked.
Hey, can we be heard?
So now I need to add our moderators. Hi, everybody. I think.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, hi, everybody.
It's happening.
All right. I'm going to find a way. To add our moderators.
Okay.
Also, I think we're sideways on the screen.
Oh, yeah?
I think we're live sideways.
Are we
Can we
signing?
go this
Just
way?
gonna let you know this is our first time ever. Yeah. Maybe we can look in the chat and see if people we're having trouble loading this live video. Fine. I'm not worried about that.
There we are,
I know we're live. That's all that matters.
right there.
Oh, it actually
But yeah,
we're going to need to be sideways.
we're gonna have to
Kenny.
turn that. You're gonna have to turn that sideways because we are.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Go ahead and put the cable pointing down.
Okay.
There we go. Hey, what's
You
that?
gotta sit closer.
So now I'm trying to figure out how do we add moderators.
Share video with live and others so they can watch too.
Oh.
Probably helpful.
Okay, I'll ask Rita, one of our beautiful moderators. Rita,
Oh, there we go. Aspera joined.
how do we
Hey there.
add you as a mod?
We're a little crooked. There's
We're crooked again.
Just the other
This
way?
happens
Just
to
the other
us.
way.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah. Rock and roll.
Good enough. Good enough for Instagram Live.
How do I see the messages?
Oh, I don't see the messages. Oh, you have to find our live in your
Yeah, you go to
in the
There it
feed.
is.
So go to the little house. There you go. Now look
As
for
we
us.
go.
See if we're there.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming by. We're trying to add Rita as a mod, but I don't know what I'm doing. That's the only problem with this situation. No idea what we're doing. But we're very excited to be here.
There we go.
Oh,
There we go.
it would appear that our live is lagging, but I don't know.
I think it is.
I think it is too.
Hey.
Hi. We're going to add Rita somehow.
We're gonna add her.
But I don't really know how.
Hi, Mel.
She's probably trying to help
Good to
us
see
right
you.
now, and we're not adding her. How do you manage your
We
lives?
did it. Live management. Yeah.
Well, it's so great to be here. Oh, I forgot my awkward questions in my bin. I have them in my
Oh,
bin.
we'll get them.
We'll get those later, yeah.
Awesome. Seeing you folks chiming in one by one here. Good to see you,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Thanks for. We'll get this.
We are looking forward to your comments and
Yes.
questions. And we also have some, a pile of awkward questions.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at that.
Who dat? Oh, hi, Love's Darkness.
Well, yeah, I think we can
Yeah.
arrange to get Saf to come up with us, Mel.
I
think
would go
that's,
to Toronto. I would go to Toronto. I feel like, Carl, I
We're
feel
coming.
like you need to squish in a bit
Yeah,
more.
let's switch in.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
Carl.
There we go.
There we go.
better?
You can come my way
Do a
too if
little
you need
more.
to.
You never have too much, Carl. There we go.
Do you want me to
There we
go grab
go.
the questions? I can go grab the questions.
Oh, you want to go get the awkward questions? Okay, so Kenny, our other moderator, say hi, Kenny.
Hello.
That's Kenny.
Hey, Kenny!
Kenny! Kenny is here in the room with us because we don't know what the beep we're doing.
In case you haven't figured that out
he's
yet.
don't let it turn
Don't
you
be
off.
discouraged.
Yeah, don't worry. It's all going to be super smooth.
Everyone jumping in there. Months
Yay!
done 4. Hello.
Hey, I got
Fish Back 10. Hello.
And I got invited for a hug too. There we
You
go.
got a hug?
All right, Carl.
I want a hug.
That's from Melissa.
Oh, Rita, I just need to know how to add you. I don't know how to add you. I got problems. I wonder how I do that. I wonder if Kenny has to do that on his device. We're just sort of getting ourselves set up. We've got our Streamily store is still open, by the way. So you can, while we're in this live, you can go and browse original art that we had done for this occasion.
Yep.
And Funko Pops. And stuff like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
We got
Oh.
Funkos. We got prints.
I see-
Posters, prints, you name it.
Hey, what's up? What's
I
up?
just see a message from Serbia, and I've been to Serbia.
That's
What?
amazing.
I have
Hi, Serbia!
Hello,
Many,
Serbia.
many in-laws in Serbia.
Where?
So cool. Where are you trying to go?
I'm just, I just noticed our little
They're
nice
just in
screen
the-
here that I brought in.
Oh, they're a
To kind of do
little.
thing. It's not even in.
They're like
So,
little
let's see.
floppy. I wonder if I stuck them in my bag. No, I think they're in the bin. No, I can't leave my spot. It's okay if you don't find them. I can probably remember. Oh, yay. Okay.
You're good.
I need to click on your profile on the live and it will show auction. Oh, maybe Kenny could click on find Rita in the live. Sorry, we're crooked again, you guys.
Sorry.
Hey,
It's gonna
Lizzie.
be the way it is.
How you doing? She's just chiming in.
Oh, that's a
There's
minute.
probably a way to.
Hello from Tanzania.
I know. I saw
Tanzania!
that.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. This is
That is
awesome.
amazing. Are you kidding me?
That's right, David. That's right. We talked about this. It's
Right.
your
This live video
bedtime.
is moderated. Okay, well, that's official. I've got the notice.
That's great. And Kenny
It's
doesn't
slowly
even
coming
need
together.
to go into the add himself in that way because he's in the room moderating us, not the chat.
I think I might.
Miss Pavia. Hello. Hello.
I'll add myself
Thanks
anyways.
for joining
Yeah,
us.
go for it.
The-
Go for
Maybe
it.
I'll see the questions because there's questions that pop up here.
Oh, there's questions. Oh, this is so exciting, you guys. I can't believe we have people from all around the
I
world.
know.
I know.
Woohoo!
Hey, Lizzie. Red Alert Transform.
Yes, whatever. What
Or
he
should I
said.
say Red Alert Transform? Because he went that way then, didn't he? Interesting how things can go.
No, I'm trying to find our live, and I can't find it, even though I went to the
Rita!
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Rita.
It's all coming down the pipe.
Yeah. No, I'm trying.
What
to
is
find
my favorite version of Red Alert? It's
Oh.
well, you know what? I am a Brit at heart, so it was pretty easy place to fall into going with a British accent afterwards, and it was kind of fun for me. So, was it my favorite? Tough one to say. I really enjoyed both of those characters, so they are kind of a piece of their own time in history. So I would maybe lean towards the Brit, but at the same time, hey, it all started with our American version. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, Saffron. Can you sign in on?
I'm gonna sign into Instagram
That
on
will
your
probably
thing.
be easy.
Yes.
Hi, Karen.
Yes.
Hi, Alex.
Oh.
Hi, Bodie.
Hi.
There was a Hamtaro
Chiming in.
question.
I'm excited.
There was a Hamtaro question.
For you.
Yeah, how did
me?
react to hearing Oxnard? Oh, let me pull that back. Married Pepper in the final episode of Hamtaro.
Oh my gosh, Oxnard and Pepper are like iconic. It's an iconic romance. I was so excited. So Pepper was played by my friend Nicole Oliver, who I love. And I think they recorded her before they recorded me. So I got to experience the romance with an actual actor acting back. So her hamster was like, Pepper was
That's
already
awesome.
recorded. And it was amazing. Carl, do you remember that? That was quite a lovely moment in
Yeah,
our Hamtaro
I
journey.
you know what? I sort of do. I'd sort of forgotten about that. But now it's kind of coming back like yeah.
So romantic. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
there were even shots of them running toward each other in a field. Like, it was just insane. So yes, most romantic moment in anime ever was Oxnard and Pepper.
That is
Thank you.
amazing,
Thank
yeah.
you for reminding me.
And Jovan, I am tickled right now knowing that you're watching Transformers Cybertron. That is, I'm flattered.
Yeah.
Go, man, go.
And Giovanna,
Thank
I have to ask, where in Serbia are you? Because I know the
He
north.
knows.
I know a lot of it, but not all of it.
Amazing.
I got you.
So much going on. Melissa.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. It's been a long time since I've seen and heard you too. So I promise we're coming to Tio. We're coming.
I really
But now I'm
wanna
here
go.
that Serbia's chiming in as well. I think we need to
So
make
what's
a
the
way
name of the con? Oh, we'll go to Serbia.
Are you
We
kidding?
can.
I'd love
Yeah.
to.
What's the name
Absolutely.
of the con in Toronto, you guys?
Anime, is it Anime Evolution or no?
Because I did Anime North.
I'm about to get
Was
schooled.
it Anime North?
Anime North, thank you.
Because I did that one years ago when my baby had just been born, like
Yes.
2002, 2003. Yeah.
We'd love to come back, and
Oh, yeah.
I hold Toronto in a special place in my heart.
Well, was that
Being a resident
not,
at one time.
was that not the convention where there was so many people and it was so sweaty that they had like, what do they call those Star Wars guys in the white again?
The stormtroopers?
Yeah, they had stormtroopers spraying everybody as they went by in the hallway.
Yes, I was there.
Sanitize everybody. I was
They had
there too.
Febreze. They had Febreze, and they did make a formal announcement before the con started that anyone that was caught, because we know on day 2 and 3 of these conventions, people can get a little bit ripe because of, it goes around the clock.
Just
And most people do go around the
So
clock,
funny.
and he made an announcement that
So funny.
if you're caught smelly in the hallways, you will be Febrezed by a
you'll be
stormtrooper.
Febreze. And they literally were standing there
Yeah, we'd be
with the
getting
spray bottles
escorted
as you walk by.
to our next panel with these stormtroopers. The next one was just like, hold it. And
I know.
the process begins.
So great. It was very funny.
I feel bad on anyone that had
Are
that
we
happen.
crooked again? Like, are we
Very crooked.
crooked
Yeah, a
for
little
you
bit.
guys? A little bit. We're crooked.
I've got a couple really tough
feel a
questions to
little
answer here.
Oh no, Carl.
Please,
no.
yeah, we're getting.
I've been asked who's my favorite Goku and why, and like, oh,
Ooh,
that's
Carl.
a tough one because they're all
you say
extremely
hi to him as
talented.
I'll just
Goku?
be over here fixing my hair.
Karen.
Yeah,
All right, check this out. There's a question for you. Can you say hi to me as Goku or Gohan?
Oh,
Please,
David.
Dave.
Okay. How about well, which one?
Oh man.
Hi, Karen.
What age are we talking?
I know that's the problem. Like, there's this
Are we
like
talking-
hundreds of episodes.
Let me go to Saffron Rocks here.
Oh,
Doesn't
you
she?
rock. You rock.
She does indeed rock.
Thank you. Okay, David. I've got to think about this.
The music is in her soul.
I think probably I would do like a,
Saffron and Brian, you need to come. Oh, hey.
hey, David, it's me, Goku. Yeah, about that
That's
guy.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Goku.
Oh, and then another
He's the
tough one. How was it switching from Sarah Strange to Richard Cox in Ranma?
Well,
Because
The questions are coming. I love
Let's
it.
go.
an early switch up.
let's go.
And I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I think, and I'm not 100% sure, I started out engineering and I wasn't directing the first bunch.
What?
And then I directed the last whole bunch. 'Cause that Ranma was going before I even
Wow.
was,
Amazing, isn't it?
working. It's always a challenge. It's always a challenge to switch over because, the new actor has to sort of voice match the previous one, and not just voice match, but sort of match the attitude too, and
Yeah.
get that. So it can be a little tough because it can be a little constricting, and then ideally they can sort of turn it into their own thing, which I think is what Richard did.
Yeah.
He sure did.
It's a tough thing to do with
He
any
and
actor.
Sarah Strange have fairly different voices, so
And
it's an interesting transition.
It's super different, yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird because Sarah had the deeper moment.
No, she did not.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
Richard had to toughen it up. Yeah,
Had to bring
No
it up
way.
a little.
yeah,
No
raise the bar.
It was
way.
funny. And I think that's a similar answer to the Goku. If you're talking about older Goku, because there was a few different people who played.
Yeah.
And that was a tough switch up.
There were,
the
but,
ones that I dealt with, yeah.
Like, I mean, Jillian and I could go toe to toe probably.
Mm-hmm.
But
For the young
as
one,
far
yeah.
as the older Gokus, who was your
Well, there was it was Ian Corlett first, and
who
then
did it the longest?
I don't know. And then Peter Kalamis.
Yeah.
That's
And-
right.
And then later on, but I don't. With him, Kirby was.
Kirby, yeah. Well, him and I must have fought for over 200 episodes, it feels like.
Yeah. I know it all feels like we did 2,000
Oh,
episodes.
boo.
I
Yeah.
mean, they're all great.
They were, yeah.
They
were
really,
pretty
really
fun.
are. They're really great.
Hey, Sound Jordan. Yeah. Are you kidding? We'd love to come out to
We would
Indiana.
love to go to Indiana, so
Big
know.
time. Yeah. Hook us up which cons to look at. And
I don't know
we can look
whose
into that,
hand you
but,
have to shake for us to go to Indiana, but we'd totally appreciate
But we do
it.
have a couple of people we could talk to possibly make that happen. So
That's true.
yes,
That is true.
I'll bet. Thanks for my childhood. That's
How
really cool.
come?
Fishing Act 10. Cool comments.
Oh, there we go. We were sideways on my phone. I'm so happy to see you guys on here. This is
It's
really
amazing.
awesome.
You're bad. How was it recording G.I. Joe Spy Troops and Valor vs. Venom movies? You've just finished watching Valor vs. Venom movie last Monday. Belgrade. Hey,
Belgrade.
it was a scream because I also got to work on that series with my brother Mike, who played Starscream, and I don't know. It was fun. I enjoyed the script, and it was kind of a nice little check mark for the resume getting on with G.I. Joe because I've always wanted to do that. So yeah,
Yeah.
huge pleasure. It was awesome.
Yeah. So, yes, R.I.P. to Kirby. We miss him so much.
Yeah.
That's a
That was probably the saddest passing in our community in Vancouver of voice actors.
It was so unexpected.
So unexpected. I wish he were still here. He was like the brightest light. He would bounce into the studio.
Yeah.
yeah. It's hard for me to. I get really choked up when I talk about it because Curbs and I were pretty close,
Oh, Brian.
and we did a lot of touring together, so it was hard. Yeah.
Yeah. And he just he loved other people and he wanted the best for everybody, and he did so much for his fellow actors and his friends, absolutely without any consideration of his own energy or his own feelings. So he gave a lot. He was
the biggest
very
heart
generous
ever.
dude. Yeah.
And it was really tough because just before Curbs, Gabe Kuth had passed, and Gabe and I were pretty tight as well from working on He-Man. He was an amazing
That's
orco
right,
on that show, and
Yeah.
we've all worked with him.
Yeah,
So
a
it's
lot.
there's been some tough times when you see your fellow soldiers going down.
And so
Yeah.
far ahead of their time.
Completely, yeah. Just such walls of talent. So huge thumbs up, and yeah.
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 We want him with us. We
Oh,
want
I
him
miss
with
those
us.
guys big time,
But
yeah.
we have to keep celebrating them. You know?
Absolutely. I do every chance I
And
get.
we have them in their shows forever.
That's right.
That's
We've
the
been
cool
immortalized
thing.
together, which is pretty cool.
We
I
have them in their shows.
have such fond memories of those sessions. So
Yeah.
Thanks, Lizzie.
We have a question from a Disney Mon, since we're talking about Kirby Morrow, and he is a big part of Inuyasha. Disney Mon asks, what are your favorite Inuyasha memories, and any favorite Disney movies?
Oh, man.
Wow. Inuyasha memories are like, that was a while ago.
That was a while ago, and there was a lot of them.
There were. It was a great show. Is a great show.
Okay, I've been debating whether I should bring it up or not, but I have kind of a good Kirby story.
Is it an
I think you
Inuyasha
should bring it up.
Kirby
I think
story?
it would have been. It would have been during that time. Kirby. I don't know how to put it. We pranked him, or I pranked him one time. He came into the session. Basically, as far as I understand it, there was something to do with Kirby had pissed somebody off. I think it involved maybe being a little too friendly with somebody's lady. And then somebody. And then
He's
it
a
turns
charmer.
and then it turns out somebody was involved with bikers.
Oh
And
my
I
gosh.
heard about this, and so Kirby came into the session later on, and I said I was telling him, hey, Kirby, the other day there were some people came by the studio asking about you. They didn't say who they were, but they were just wondering when you were. We didn't tell them, but weren't sure. And I said, so yeah, they rode up on bikes, and and we let him stew for a good 10 minutes before letting him off the.
Oh my gosh.
Really? How many?
Yeah.
How many bikes?
Yeah,
He was.
he was. Yeah, he appreciated the joke though.
I can see that.
I bet he did
Yeah,
after.
after.
Yeah. After he got out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Hey, you've been asked to do Kurenai from Naruto.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I think I would need I think I need a script.
It's like, hold on, read it.
Hold on. Oh, I think I need a script.
Okay, well, we can give you pause
I need
on
to
that.
study
Melissa,
Kurenai
yes,
a
it was
little bit more.
2014, wasn't it? Since
Yeah.
last time I saw you in TO. Miss you tons. We got so much to catch up about, so I will be seeing you in the near future, no question.
Ooh, here's an uncomfortable question. Was there a reason for Peter Kalamis and Ian Corlett not being asked to audition for Goku in Kai? It was rumored that Kai's casting was aiming to match the Japanese, Masako Nozawa, and Kalamis. Oh, what do you have to say to that?
I mean,
Bring it
I'm
on
the
the heavy
director,
questions.
not so much part of the casting thing, but I seem to recall it was availability, maybe.
Oh, that's possible. Yeah.
So that's what I seem, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, availability is a thing. People move to other cities and sometimes they have to go to the United States for 3 months because they're getting married to an American.
Yeah, Peter came after Ian.
Yes.
That's correct.
That is so true, actually.
Things happen.
Yep.
Or they get a huge film role or a recurring series. Like I know that.
Yeah.
I know Peter has done a couple of series, right?
Oh yeah, but then he was a busy guy. And then I know for a fact that Peter just he came in and he got so busy with other things he just couldn't commit to the time anymore.
It's amazing.
I loved working with him though.
We're getting greetings from Scotland here.
Oh, nice.
Scotland.
6 pictures.
Oh.
Unbelievable. Thank you so much for chiming in. This is amazing. Great.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
We'd like to go there too.
We would love to come to Scotland. let's just pack this stuff
Oh,
up.
my gosh.
We have a tour sort of coming together from today's
Oh,
discussion.
Lizzie, I saw what you're doing. Right.
What's that mean?
I don't know.
We're talking about He-Man too. Oh my gosh, we've got.
Oh, cool.
We have
Oh,
so
fun.
many
You've
comments.
got that
here
artwork
are
in your room? Yes, I would like to see that stuff. He's talking about Venom versus Valor with the G.I. Joe stuff. Oh, we can't have our screensaver come up like that. That's not right. There we go.
Oh, what happened to our logo? Oh, we never put it up.
No, it's right here. It's behind. This is
Well,
delayed,
behind
right?
it's behind my huge head.
It's gonna come back.
That's what's happening.
If you're looking for logos.
Huge head.
We have a question from Jovan Jewick 211 to Brian. How do you feel about the impact of the Transformers franchise?
It's nothing short of mind blowing. Personally, they have gone from levels from where we started off, and I remember the days of Armada and where we are, and then kind of the way things progressed into Cybertron, and then of course now this whole live action field of what has happened with Transformers. It's just gone through the roof. Did I have any idea that would happen in the day? Not at all. Although I figured robots in disguise would be pretty popular with kids, but yeah, I'm impressed, and let's see where it goes from here.
That's exciting.
It is. What was another question here?
Yeah,
I'd love to see you guys in Houston again. Right on.
Yay!
And then I'm being asked, was being Fantastic Four as the thing? What was it like? That was amazing because I remember
You
really
were great as that. That's like the thing.
this man directed me.
Yeah. That's the in my mind. Like that's just the one you really.
Thank you.
That was.
It's clobbering time.
Yeah.
Oh God! Yes.
It was because I grew up so much with that comic, and I remember actually when the auditions came down, I went out and started buying all the graphic novels again to refresh myself and just kind of get it all back. And asked my wife. I came home with goosebumps, saying, "I'm gonna get this role somehow."
Yeah.
You did.
And
that.
usually I don't know. It's I don't have that kind of odds when there's something I want that badly, and by
love
booking
that.
it was crazy, and I had such a great time, and I was very fortunate to have this man behind the director's chair.
Wow, it was a great cast too.
It was a really great cast. We all got along.
Yeah,
good
it was
meld.
fun.
I blew my throat on a few occasions on that show, but it was worth it. Thanks for asking.
I'll
I'll say somebody was asking, and this is another dig into the memory. How much of the Ocean dub Dragon Ball did I direct?
Yeah.
And I seem to recall. Correct me. You might remember. I think I didn't do the first few. I was probably recording them. I think was it Sarah for a bit. No. Just me?
Maybe
I want to say
Sarah
just a
was
handful
in there. Yeah.
I think I directed. Yeah, maybe not the first few, and then everything else Ocean did.
Yeah.
So most of them.
Yeah, I know
And
that
then it
we
went down
did.
south.
Mike Donovan
At a point.
directed the ones that I did with BLT.
That was Dragon Ball though. Not
That was
Z.
Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
Z was all us, but I
that
think
was all you guys. Yeah,
just the
for
first
sure.
few episodes I didn't do, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
and then all the rest that Ocean did was me.
Yeah. Speaking of Dragon Balls, Brian and I each were gifted a Dragon Ball from Sherby
When we were in Dallas,
when we were in Dallas at KamehaCon.
I got mine in this crazy little holder
This
thing
is
right here.
blue.
Too.
It's
the
so
blue.
cool.
It's got like the power cracks
How many
in there. I
stars
don't know
do
if
you
you
have?
can get that up.
I want
close
power
enough to
cracks.
say. Oh my gosh, it's super cool.
Isn't that cool?
Thanks. Thank you.
I got the 4-star
You have the 3D effect here on
orange
that
one. And these are just,
I'm leaving
I
this
I
here.
hold it when I'm in my studio and I'm
Kirby.
working. I hold it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sure. Unbelievable. Like that was.
Sherby does beautiful stuff. If you've not checked him out, he's on Instagram. I think he's Sherby NCP. Is
I
that it?
think so. I wish I had that up on here right now. I
Yeah.
should definitely be giving full credit for that because this was such a gift, and
so
I've had,
neat. And you can see the process that he uses to make them. It's fascinating.
Well, follow him because he is most a worthy candidate for this Dragon Ball stuff, and the process he goes through to make these things is huge. So check it out.
Chris Ayers, yeah.
Oh.
Rest in peace. That was awful to know. We found that out while we were down in Texas that he had passed. And
Yeah, well, and I'd known before that actually even too, but I mean, leading Chris.
they did a nice tribute to him.
They really did. It was beautiful out there. They had a whole homage thing set up with the two. But I got some great memories. I think the last time I hung with him was in Toronto at Anime North, and him and his brother were there, and we all just had such a great time and made some amazing memories. So I've toured a few cons with Chris, and the Ayers brothers are a couple of really cool dudes. And Greg is also an amazing DJ. I remember he would also attach to Chris's brother, Greg. He would always attach like a set to the con or something too, and he would just raise the roof with his amazing DJ skills, and just a wall of talent. Those two guys, and he will be immensely missed.
Oh, Gary Chalk was also in He-Man.
Darn tootin'.
2001.
Wasn't he the original He-Man?
2001.
Yep. I know, isn't it crazy to think?
That's crazy.
Such a lineage there.
Here's one out of the archives. Can you do Vicky from Card Captors? Do you recall that? I directed that. That was a long time.
Tell you what, we're going to take a little break around 12. I am going to do a little research as far as... I'm Vicky. I'm 100% hesitant to Vicky all the time. But I'm just going to look at like what would be my best line choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll do that on our break.
That's awesome.
I think at noon we might take a little break.
Brian and I first met at March Toronto Con. The Toronto Con is now the Toronto Comic Con, I understand. Melissa, thanks for the
There
input on
we
that.
are.
I didn't know that.
That's what happened.
Would that be Aman Gupta running that? I'm not sure. I would like to look back into it, make reconnection there, because that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I gotta get my butt back there with her.
Get your butt back there with us.
We'd all like to go. Okay, what else we
Lotus
got here?
Darkness has a pretty cool question for Saffron.
Oh.
We get to hear a lot from all the men about working in the industry. What is it like for you and other women?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. It's actually when I started doing animation, there were probably, as shows were being written, there were probably 2 women to every 8 or 10 men. Wouldn't you say, Carl? Like, female roles were few and far between on any big show.
In prelays, probably. I think maybe anime
was
a little more
more
equal.
female,
Especially
representation.
with doing the young male leads.
Well, the
I
fact
liked it
that, a lot of my female actor friends and I, we, young boys and cute little, hamsters and things like that, we can do with our female voices. Now there's animation being created around female characters, which is super exciting. But as a woman working with all these very loud men, it was awesome. It's always been fun. We've always been like a gang of buddies who get to go to camp,
Well said.
Yeah.
And so, we've always had a really good time. As a woman, I have felt in this industry very respected, and I've made really great connections. I compete with all my friends for roles, but we are able to both hold feeling excited for each other's success and wishing we had it as well. We can do 2 feelings at once, so we have a great community of women. And
I feel there's a different camaraderie there in voice than film and television.
I do too.
I think so.
I think voiceover is amazing that
we're
way.
all rooting for each other, so it's kind of nice.
I definitely think you're right about that.
Yeah.
It feels like to me anyway.
Yeah, I think the voiceover world has been a real safe space for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kids, and
Yeah, it's true. It's really fun. And you're not typecast in the same way. So even, as a woman, we are typecast harshly in film and television.
Yeah.
And, I feel like there's so much more room in voiceover to be different characters from different points of view, different ages.
Yeah, I mean,
stages.
some people can play an old voice when they're 17, and some people can play a young voice when they're 60.
And
so.
Scott McNeil can
so
play
true,
all of
yeah.
them. I'll never forget being in a session.
Yeah.
This was a prelay session with Sue Blue, and Scott scooped the role of, it was one of those extra roles, like you have you're
Yep.
a main character, and then
They throw you
get
something?
to add littler roles throughout the show. And it was like an old lady, and Scott scooped it before I even had a chance to read for it.
He's good.
She's like, okay, let's hear everybody's blah, blah, old lady. And Scott pipes up and does it. And she's like, oh, you're hired. And I was like, man.
I think I've heard that voice of his.
Not only does
he's
he get to
pretty
be
convincing.
King Kong,
Right.
he also,
Do you want me to piss you off even more?
oh, piss me off.
We did a the first feature I ever directed, animated feature, was Jinro.
Yes.
Right.
And there's a moment in that, if anybody's seen
Loves
it.
Jinro.
I don't remember exactly where in the story, but they're in mausoleum, and it's a very somber moment. And there's a little old lady that walks by in the background, has one little line.
Yes.
And I remember, I don't know how it came up, but Scott says, "Let me try that."
Of
It's like,
course.
Scott, no, this is a very serious scene. It can't be cartoony. It can't be silly. It's got to be very real. And he goes, let me try it. No, just let me try it. So we queued it up just to humor him, and he nailed it. It was awesome.
Of course he did.
And in one take,
That's
one take, perfect.
Fantastic.
That's
Yes.
who's there.
No,
That's so funny.
he's got quite the range, that Mr. McNeil,
does,
doesn't
he
he?
does.
I've been asked by Jovan to do a shout out in the Transformer voice of Red Alert. So if we were to do that, say, all right, coming at you, Jovan, as Red Alert in our American stage. Thanks for watching. Oh, if we go down and turn it around, Red Alert transform, Jovan. Thanks for watching, mate.
Love this.
Oh my God.
Now the question I want to ask is it Jovan or Yovan?
Has it been that long?
We didn't think about that.
Say that again.
Is it Jovan or
Yeah.
Yovan?
Oh, Jovan. Yeah, exactly. And I do completely apologize for any mispronunciations on names. And
Speaking of that,
We're trying.
there's a question about the name of Dr. Gyro, or back in the
Dr. Giroux. Yes.
yeah, like gyroscope. Yeah, and honestly, the answer to that is
Where is it?
pronunciations come down to producers. Ultimately, it's their decision. We sort of ask, how would you like this pronounced, or what should this be?
Well, there
And
was
that's a producer thing. I mean, occasionally it's left up to us.
that in particular is it's funny because I brought this up when I was in Dallas, and the question was asked because a lot of folks are tuning in on YouTube and whatnot and kind of seeing the continuity of the stuff that we do. And there was a time when the directors had changed, and I don't know if you guys remember Bev, who came in was. But anyway, we kind of locked horns a little bit as to the pronunciation of Dr. Giroux's name, and I'd already established that in another cartoon saying Dr. Giroux.
Is this
Dr.
what we were
Giroux.
talking about a little while ago?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes, it is.
It is that character.
And it was a little frustrating because I kind of locked horns with her saying that no, it's Dr. Jaro, and all of a sudden I was pushed into recording this character and kind of coming in and using a different pronunciation of his name. It was very uncomfortable. And then, of course, I look at the YouTube feedback and everything else in media right now. It's just kind of like, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
Well, it
that
wasn't
happens.
Sometimes you don't have the power in those sessions where,
Well, even the director, like just recently, last week or so, there was a show we're working on, and there was a name that had been used earlier, and then usually in the studio there's a project coordinator who liaisons with a producer for the client, and we get pronunciation guides, and so that's what we work from. It's sort of an accepted upon list of pronunciations, and there's a name that had been said, well, we got a new pronunciation through on the script that was different, and I had to go back and say, by the way, just so you know, we've said it like this a number of times, might want to stick with that. So so that things like that just sort of somehow
it's going to get picked up on, right? If the
guys-
continuity's
different
not
people
there,
sneaks
so.
through the cracks
I got ripped online
How's
with a
that?
comment.
about
She
pronunciation.
doesn't even know how to say. Now I can't say it because I
Yes, I know.
I
what you
learned
mean.
it as Kamehameha.
I knew that was going to come
Joan,
up.
I know. And then they're like, it's Kamehameha. And I was like,
Yeah, that was a big one at the time.
no one told me that. Like, again, it was one of those things where we were directed. Can I blame this on Barry Watson?
Yeah,
Barry Watson, it's your fault.
I'm pretty sure.
People hate my Kamehameha because you
Yeah.
told me to say Kamehameha.
Yeah, sometimes things change.
It's Barry's fault.
Yes.
Oh.
Hey, Jovan, you're right. Kirby was also Kirby Morrow played my son on Team Galaxy. Yes, he did.
Somebody asked, has anyone met Brent Miller?
Yes.
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have.
He's real.
Yeah, we tied with him. Brent
Yeah.
is worked with us for a great many years, and we know him very well.
Yeah, really great guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, an amazing talent. And yes, we do
You know, we should say a special shout out to Inuyasha actor 03, who is not only here with us today, hi, but also joined us when we recorded the Con Hour with Greg Caslow, like on Friday night. So you're just amazing. Here you are.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
Hello,
really appreciate
Kansas.
it. Yeah. Yeah,
Nice to see
hello,
you.
Kansas.
Yeah.
It's amazing, right? People chiming in from all over the world. I really, really groove this. It's amazing. Oh, we got Ireland also.
I know, Ireland. So while we visit Scotland, we could also visit Ireland. Right, Kenny?
Yeah.
Kenny, will you come on the road with us?
Heck
And we'll
yeah.
have to take Rita, our online mod, on the road with us as well. Because Rita's in the chat, and she's working hard too, so she should probably be at all
Did you-
the cons.
And really, if we're over there, Serbia and Serbia are pretty close. So
We're
Well,
going.
look what's happening.
Yeah.
We're setting up a
Excited,
tour
yes.
here.
And
I
we'll
like it.
stop in Toronto first.
Hello, Melissa. We will make it back. Carl, did you field the one from Biggest Ocean Dub Dragon Ball fan from Ireland?
I don't
Can
think
you
so.
let me know how much Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Kai dubs did you direct?
Dragon Ball Z, I think I sort of answered that.
You did. You
Which
did
is
catch on one.
most of the ones at Ocean, but Kai. Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
That was, and there's two questions about that. I directed all of the Kai that was done at Ocean, and then somebody else, what's the status of it, and has it been released yet? And I honestly don't know.
Didn't
I think I actually just assumed it had been, and then I found out it hadn't, and it was being in stasis. So I don't know. I really don't know, and I
it's
hope
in
it
a
comes out.
vault somewhere in one
Because
of those.
it was freaking awesome. It was so much fun.
Uh-huh.
And there was a couple of new casting things that had to happen again, availability and whatnot, and they were kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not to disrespect the old actors, but it was like, wow.
I
this
think
is a-
I got recast, didn't I? Was I? I did some Dragon Ball Kai. I just don't remember like all the timing of it all.
It
Jillian-
was a while ago, wasn't it?
Were you, was that when you were down south?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
dear.
think Jillian, like we went to Westwood at one point.
Oh,
and
no,
then
I didn't do anything there.
After that, so I did do all the ones with you then.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not, it was all in, not Westwood.
See how confusing it gets?
Oh, it's Dragon Ball especially.
Dragon Ball is
Hugely
Yes.
super
confusing.
saga, and the fact that, yeah,
You're getting a hello
Wait a
from
minute.
Esmer K4.
I know. I want to see Esmer again soon. If we go to KamehamehaCon, you have to be my person. She needs to be my person, for sure. And there's someone made a comment. Quote: "Does this pose make my ass look fat?"
Well, that's
Unquote.
no. As
So
she,
let's
that's
dive into that.
That's Melissa, and she's saying that the first time that she had met Kirby was Fan Expo before it was Fan Expo in August in 2005, when I was taking a picture with him and his at Scott's table and asked him to strike a pose. Then he asked, "Does this pose make my ass look fat?"
Maybe
Sounds like something he'd say.
I that is something absolutely he would say.
it depends
So,
on the jeans, Kirby. It depends on the jeans. Kirby had the
Oh,
best jeans
and the
collection.
jeans. Yes, he did.
He had an amazing.
He was
jeans
big
collection.
on denim, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was denim on denim. It was great.
Right.
Uncle Dumpling.
Well, that's a tough one. It's, you know what, that has actually been redubbed on Netflix, and it's a tough one because it's kind of it could be kind of inappropriate nowadays.
Oh,
Which was that?
Uncle Dumpling from
Oh.
Puka.
Right.
I enjoyed the show very much, though, and you know, we'll explain that one more. Like David Kay, for example.
Lizzie has a question for Brian, but
Oh.
I guess it could be any of you guys. Did you guys ever work with Gary Chalk?
Absolutely.
oh, yes, we did.
Well, I did the whole He-Man series with him, and Mother. Oh yeah, a bunch of
And
shows
almost
with him.
every series.
It seems that
Almost every
Gary's
series.
he really gets his way around in film and television and voice, and
Yeah.
yeah, you know, his work on Transformers, He-Man, like a lot of major big series that he's put under his belt over the years. So yeah, a big shout out to Gary. He's amazing and a pleasure to work with. There's some great Gary Chalk stories actually.
Yeah, there are
if we
some
ever get-
good ones.
If we find dead air, maybe we'll find some of those later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's a question. If you were offered a redo role, this is for I think mostly you guys, which would you say yes to without hesitation? Like for me as a director.
Okay, so
I wanna
voice the
redo
question
everything.
again. Say it again.
If you were offered to redo a role,
Yeah.
which one would you say yes to without
What a great
hesitation?
question.
That is a hard one.
For me as a director, I have a hard time watching anything I've directed because usually it's like, oh crap, I want to do that again.
Oh,
I would-
yeah.
Ooh, I want to. Could we not just tweak that?
I feel
Yeah.
the same way.
like so.
There's probably
feel
a
the
few
same way.
I could bring up, but I think Dr. Giroux, after kind of what happened with the original, I'd love to kind of get it down to get one solid print the way I wanted it. If I had a crack at that again, I think it could be a good thing. But I'd have to think about other characters. I'm not sure.
I think Sky Wishes and My Little Pony, I really dislike my work in that, and I think I'd like to redo it.
You played Sky Wishes. I played Sky Beak.
Get out of here!
Whoa!
My pony died a long time ago, I feel, because she hasn't been back. Or if someone said, "Oh no, she shows up, she just doesn't talk."
Well, I'm a griffin and I fly around, so perhaps I've gone elsewhere.
I
even,
know.
too.
I would redo Goku, Gohan, Oxnard, but because it's fun, not because I think that they need to be redone. They were, there were
Yeah,
mistakes.
I guess.
but-
I guess the question is it redo because you love it, or redo because you want to change it slightly?
Yeah.
I guess
Well, in that case,
that's two different things.
there's
right?
certainly a bit of a change I'd like to make.
Yeah, that's. I
Yeah.
just assumed it was things that you just. Like, oh.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I
cringing at.
Yeah.
Would I like to redo my Kamehameha? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, or things like that.
But people wouldn't just burn me down online. That'd be great.
Actually, there's a little anecdote about your brother,
Yes.
and it was one of
Which
the
one?
Paul. It's a safe one. And I don't remember which one. Forgive me, but one of the Dragon Ball movies that I think was done by a different production company. He played the villain, the bald evil scientist.
Okay, yeah.
And Paul came up with this laugh because this guy was this evil mad scientist, and I can't do it very well, but I'll do my best. It was like a. And we thought it was hilarious, so we went with
I
that.
know the laugh you're talking about. That's
The
funny
problem
thing.
is what we didn't really anticipate is he laughed every freaking line, and by the end, I think Paul wanted to just.
Oh, Paulie.
He wanted to like bash his head against the wall.
Because
Yes.
he chose a laugh that he had to stick
He had-
with, and
yeah.
it was a brutal.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Oh,
And
that's
it was
great.
hilarious. We still laugh about that.
For those of you who don't know, I have two brothers also in the industry, Michael and Paul, and they actually kind of opened the door to me getting started in this whole thing. They had paved their path, and they've done a few iconic roles and whatnot too. But
What would you say you guys have in common, as far as actors?
within the industry, or
Yeah, your voices are all.
and that was the tough thing because there was a point where it's just kind of like, well, we got one Dobson, we don't need any more.
Yeah,
we
you only
really
never
do
have too much Dobson.
No, we all have our own.
niche.
Yes, we
Yeah,
do have our
I-
own
I
niche, and we
agree.
have our own special
So
things.
that's why I'm looking for the commonality.
Well, it's sometimes hard to convince casting directors that because they see the same name. There's like, oh no, we already got one. But there was a couple of series that we were fortunate to have all been played on. Like we did work together all on Transformers, for instance, and we all did work together on Dragon Ball Z. There's a lot of anime actually. I think most anime that I've worked on at one point, my brothers have been in those two, and you probably directed all three of us in many occasions for different anime
it's happened.
series and stuff. So,
Yeah.
Although I'd say mostly it's like two of, maybe not all three. It's happened.
So
all
you
three,
get
but not-
2/3 Dobson
Yeah.
in any one given show.
And it seems to be sort of an unwritten rule.
yeah.
Hey, you guys, Andrew is online. Andrew from Streamily. Hi.
Hey, hello.
Thank you so much for joining us. Andrew helped us do this entire thing.
Yeah,
Andrew is our man.
He's had-
we really appreciate your work with us, noobs.
really appreciate it. And I just got a call out from Six Pictures that we can go and go haggis hunting anytime out.
Oh, that
In
sounds so
Scotland, so-
gross.
But I've always wanted to kind of try that, so I'm in.
If
That's a hard yes.
If haggis is a vegetable I can find in the woods, I am.
Yeah, I
in.
can't see Chef Reno here really being on the haggis, but
I'm just vegetarian.
I've had it before. It's great.
well, I know I could totally. I would have guessed that Carl has had haggis at one time or the other.
I think in Edinburgh, if I remember right. It's like
Oh well, there you go.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You've
Oh,
started something, Six Pictures.
You have.
Yes, we're all having a lot of fun here, Andrew. This is
Oh.
amazing.
You have a gift,
can
a
I see it?
skeleton shirt. Oh.
Oh well, that's Carl.
Melissa.
He's got- you want
this one?
do some advertising?
Oh, this.
There's a band you might want to check.
It's a band. Half
This
man,
is
half
Carl's
biscuit.
skeleton shirt. Melissa's
Yeah.
got a gift for you.
Oh, gift.
Oh, do you really?
That's what I
Okay,
think.
hold on a second. No, but I'll
Am
get to the
I
next time I see you in
interpreting the chat
town.
correctly?
It's an awesome
I don't
skeleton
know.
shirt that I got from Loot Crate. Oh, you're amazing, Melissa!
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys,
Now I've got to get there sooner.
yeah.
I have this high anticipation when gifts are involved.
We
I don't-
should I do any signing right now? I don't know if my people are here. I might wait until 1 p.m. PST to sign stuff. Because I feel like, yeah, maybe we should.
It's
do that.
coming though.
But
It's
and
gonna
our store is
happen.
still open if you want to grab a print and have us sign it while you're here on the live with us. We will do
Oh, for
that.
sure. Yeah. If
We will
someone-
do that. We're gonna maybe take a break in about 15 minutes, but I don't know. Should we?
Yes, and I wanted to.
You guys have such great questions.
Joven has a really good one.
Oh, let's go.
Do you guys have any plans on adding more of your fellow colleagues to for Anime Time Machine?
Oh, yes.
Glad you asked.
Is there
Yep.
room?
Go ahead,
I
Seth.
know.
What- you tell me.
I think what we could do is sort of classic cheerleader pyramid style. Like if you had a couple behind and then one on top,
Gonna
that would
happen.
be 3 more. No, we
That would be fun.
definitely want to do that. We're trying to create an opportunity for those of us that have done so much together over the years
Yeah.
to kind of come together and answer your questions and engage with you guys because when we go to conventions, we tend to be a little glob of people that are
Yeah.
from Vancouver, and we love it
Yes,
because
we love it.
yeah, it's amazing. So we got connections.
And we're tapped
We
in
can
with
hook you
pretty
up.
much everyone that we're
Yeah.
in the series that we have worked with, right? We're all quite good
They would
friends
all
with everybody.
humor
So,
us, yeah.
oh, for sure.
They would
So,
all humor
will
us.
you
Yeah.
see others? That's our
Yes.
goal.
That'd be great.
Whether we're multi-screen or
That may happen too.
or
Yeah.
like
It's nice if we can get us all in the same room because this jam's
fun.
kind of nice.
That's
this
really
is
fun. Yeah.
really fun to actually.
So let's
be
get
in
6
this
more people in this space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see
Need
how
to
that
see if
goes.
we can
We'll see how
rustle
that
up.
goes. Yeah.
Oh, the mention about Iron Man Armored Adventures. How about that?
Oh.
Nice.
Yes.
That was the third Marvel one that I was
So
involved in.
Iron Man, is that the one? So Carl's niece made him this coolest collage
Mm.
of characters that he has directed, like some favorite characters. I'm assuming
Yeah.
that you gave her a little guidance.
Yeah.
And she created it. It's beautiful. It's on our Anime Time Machine store on Streamly, and that was one of them, right?
Yeah.
Was that Iron Man?
Yeah, Iron Man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Actually, I got a little anecdote about that. There was 2 different producers for that show, and in the second season, the lady who was producing it, she was great. I really got along with her.
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
But I would do this thing when I would direct, and I've developed this thing with Prelay, and you guys would probably know. I try not to watch the room, because if you do, you get colored by the body.
I'm so glad you said this because
So I
you will
tend to
notice
just listen.
Carl's very like this when he's up at the thing. He's got
Because
his notes and everything around him. He gets right in there.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes what you're seeing and
You
what
don't
you're
watch.
hearing don't match, and you don't want to think, oh, that was huge, and you listen and say, oh, it wasn't as big. It's just they're using their body.
Yep.
Or vice versa. Some people just stand
Wow.
still.
I think that's
But
amazing.
so
Actually.
I really try not to do that.
You do have
But
completely your own method.
So I tend to direct like this, and with Iron Man, I started. It wasn't on purpose, but then I started doing it on purpose because I would do and it was Adrian Petru, Iron Man.
Yeah.
It's like, and then you do your force blast, and he would do the Spider-Man thing, and finally, and the producer would she would go, oh, stop doing the Spider-Man thing.
You're Iron Man. You're Iron Man.
And
Come on.
and then absolutely, I did it on purpose for ever after. Yeah.
That's a juicy little tidbit.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
I like it.
I love knowing that.
And the other thing too, with Adrian doing those power ups, there was a lot of them, or those.
There were a
force
lot. Yeah.
And as the series progressed, it became this sort of unwritten challenge. He had to keep one upping. So by the last episode, he was just like giving it all. Like some of them where it's like you almost had to pull him back.
Wow.
I can imagine. He's a heck of a voice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really neat.
Fun fact with the whole Unicorn trilogy, Transformers shows aired in Serbia. That's really cool.
That is neat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we didn't put on death time slots. I am terrified. What are you talking about?
David,
Well, you can
What
answer
does
a
that
question.
mean, Kenny? What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Oh, and I see something
freaking
back.
out.
We were talking about the Dragon Ball uncut movies, and yeah, it was Pioneer. I wasn't 100% sure, but yeah, it was the Pioneer one.
David has a question for Saffron. I know this has been a thing.
Yeah.
He was looking at your Wikipedia and saw your birthday was September, but on IMDb it's December.
What do you think?
Who are you, and when is your birthday?
Who are you? Who?
Both are great questions. Let me see. When's my birthday? All I'll tell you is it hasn't happened yet. Good luck.
Also, he would like a shout out as Gohan.
Oh,
David.
yeah. All right. So, see, the difference between young Goku and young Gohan is not huge. But young Gohan, I felt, young Goku tended to be an innocent.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was just completely naive and cute. Whereas Gohan came into the world knowing a little bit more about
that's right.
about the people around him and everything. He wasn't like alone in a little spaceship or anything.
Yeah.
Bonk. Although that was cute. But so Gohan was like in training from, day one, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That was a
So-
lot. That's right. That took forever.
Yeah.
There was
It's
something.
a lot of training.
There was a lot of training.
It's a lot of training. A lot of yelling.
Yeah,
So what would Gohan say?
and training on the planet with Don Brown's character there.
Don!
The tiny planet. That was
Oh,
awesome.
just hearing
Oh
his
my
name
That was actually
warms
some
me.
of my favorite stuff.
The Don
It was
Brown
fun.
sessions.
I love that.
The Don
We
Brown
could do a
sessions.
show about the Don Brown
Don
sessions.
Brown he's a character.
He's
a
amazing.
great guy.
He's
Love that guy.
Don Brown, we have to tell you something about him after. Yes, okay, so Gohan. So he would say, this is one that Nathan Munson taught me and reminded me of, actually. Leave my dad alone!
Wow.
Thank you.
And out.
And
And scene.
yeah,
Wow.
that was
You just
was-
gender jumped.
I gender jump. I do it all the time.
I know, you're a pro.
Yeah.
Were the Dragon Ball Z scripts based on a direct translation?
Oh.
I would say mostly yes.
There's called the OJ, the original Japanese.
Yeah, but then it's rewritten for fit,
Right.
but also sometimes for broadcast.
Yes. I used to be one of those guys.
Broadcastability.
Yeah.
I
You
was what they
did?
call, I used to write for Dragon Ball, and
Oh.
I was what they call a script tweaker.
Oh, I
And
love it.
here's the horrible part is that I had to do it with a VHS machine. So we had to put in
Oh,
half-inch
bless.
tape in a VHS, and
Bless.
you would go through a couple of these machines in a year if you held on to this job, which I didn't want to do. But it was fast-forward, rewinding constantly, and you would have a script where either the OJ, the original Japanese, would fit the translation, but in most cases it wouldn't, so you would either have longer or shorter.
Yeah.
And in some cases, literally needing to kind of tweak the story to make the mouth flaps work. And a lot of this happens in most anime. Sometimes, I don't know about some of you folks, have you ever watched certain animes and by the end of it you're like, what was that about? Have you ever had that? Where it's just
Not
kind of
gonna lie.
that could be an overly tweaked script where it's just nothing really worked out. But
When you
Dragon
get
Ball
into-
was a challenge.
Yeah,
to-
when you get into changing the story, that's where it's rough
Oh,
because
yeah.
people are researched on those stories.
Yeah.
So then when they see our version of it and things weren't fitting and the translation was maybe clumsy enough that it's really hard to keep it in the story.
Yeah.
Well, it really depends if the mandate is to stick close to the original, and usually if that's for a DVD release, that's
True.
the case.
Yeah.
Not for broadcast. Something for broadcast, they want to change things up. If somebody thinks that they need to do it a little differently, or something doesn't quite translate,
Yeah.
and that's where the discrepancies usually arise.
Yeah.
I've found.
Yeah. It's tough. And
It is
I
tough,
mean,
yeah.
we've in the studio, after all those phases and stages of writing, we wind up changing it all the time because Carl knows the actual story
Yeah.
and he knows what we need
Yeah.
to tweak to make it work. And usually he knows how to make it funnier.
Well, yeah. There's
Which I love.
You usually have to tweak, or often have to tweak for fit,
Yeah.
and that's just to make it sound more natural, not
Totally.
not changing concepts.
But there have been
Yes, there have.
the occasional occasions where Carl's like, it would be way funnier than that.
Well, actually, one that maybe you're thinking of too. Certain shows, you're fighting the writing a little more than others in terms of fit.
Use.
And I think the one that was the big change for me was Hamtaro. Is it?
Hamtaro was off the chain.
Yeah, that was the one where we had to do a lot of tweaks, and finally it's like, what the hell with it? We're gonna start putting our own
Let's
things in.
let's make this
We
story
did a
this.
bit- we did a wee bit of writing.
Let's put it this way: in that one, amongst other things, there was ended up being a lot of little Star Wars references, and none of those were from the writer.
Ah, very interesting. difference.
interesting,
here.
huh? Melissa was saying that Escafoni, I compared the English to the Japanese, and
Oh, yeah.
so much was different. LOL.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that very well could
Boom,
be.
good example.
And sometimes there's good reason.
Yeah.
Like the manga is way edgier.
Yeah.
And the Japanese is closer to the manga. And
Yeah.
so we're like
Here,
Yeah.
yeah.
a couple degrees away from the manga, and we tend
Yeah.
to cover up people's privates
I say,
and
naughty bits.
cut some scenes. Yeah.
What was your favorite moment in My Little Pony there, Saf?
Oh well, I have to say I have a. By the way, look my I love this Pixel
Jacket.
Kitties.
Can we get closer?
Pixel Kitties did this
Such
for
a
me.
beautiful
I
shot
can't
there.
do it.
Kenny's coming in for the reach.
Pixel Kitties made this for me. I love it.
That was
It's
like the
gorgeous.
Fireside armor.
It's so there's two characters in there. One is Auntie Lofty, who is in the first same-sex relationship on My Little Pony. Let's go. So that was really exciting. And she is actually was only in 1 or 2 episodes, but I think is a beloved character just because of, her warm ways, and she knits and she's awesome. She's a grown-up pony. And then Sky Wishes I did years ago for DVDs, and she was fun, although I am, when I hear her voice, I go, oh, I'd like to redo that. But she sang lots of songs and was really cute.
Great. Johan's piping up saying, I watched the uncut English version from a site called 9 Anime. So we noticed that too with the tweak between.
Yeah.
And to Carl, so are lip flaps total priority making the sound fit?
That's always a struggle. That's like I have nightmares about this sort of thing. Yes and no. Ideally what happens, I think this is answering somebody else's question about writing the translations, is there's somebody who translates the scripts directly, and then there's somebody else who sort of takes that and rewrites it for fit, for pausing, timing, and that sort of thing, and if any sort of content concerns or broadcast, if that's an issue. And personally, in the sessions, I will always, you want to make the fit look good, but I personally would opt for a good read over perfect fit.
Yeah.
But then the engineers will always be pushing for better fit.
They're very tight with that, aren't they?
So there's this
Yeah.
constant sort of, I try to bully the engineers, and sometimes
I've seen it.
it's like, yeah, yeah.
You always
or they'll bully me. And it's just a matter of you find that, and it needs to both have to be considered.
You always wind up having engineers that can stand their ground.
Usually,
Yeah. It's an interesting process to observe.
Well, there's a certain art that is certainly required to do what they do. So
Yeah, that's a big-
between the director and engineer, there's quite the relationship there.
It's a huge. Well, I really find doing dubbing in particular. It's a real. It's that triumvirate. You got the actor, director, engineer, and it really is.
And I'm sure you have your
three-legged
favorite
stool.
engineers to work with, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. And yeah. My wife refers to the engineers. Oh, your work wife,
Oh,
because it's such a close relationship.
it
You end up,
is.
you
It
know,
is.
you get to know them real
Awesome.
well. But it really is. They play a big part, not just technically, but just in terms of allowing the creative thing to happen, and
Yeah.
like being able to sort of like, you get a good read and being able to maneuver it without having to redo it. Because sometimes you fall into the trap of trying to make something fit really accurately, but then the read can suffer.
Yep.
And if it's a really good dubbing person, that usually isn't the case, but sometimes people aren't as good at that. Maybe a great actor, but not as good at dealing with the matching flaps.
Yeah.
Luckily, you two aren't in that camp, so you guys are good. But there can be a bit of a compromise. You try not to let that get the best of things.
Yeah. Going for a great performance, though. I really appreciate that.
I think that's more important, ultimately, because that's what's going to bother you more?
Yeah.
A fit that isn't 100% perfect, or a read that sounds kind of dubbed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my feeling.
Yeah.
I think it's the best call, really.
And I mean, when you watch for instance, like the benchmark, the Disney dubs of, Studio Ghibli stuff,
Yeah.
the fit is not usually that accurate. And sometimes it's downright atrocious, if that's your concern.
Yeah.
So I don't think you should.
So long as those performances were shining,
That's
I
what
could get away
matters.
with it.
Yeah,
But
that's what
when you
really
get
matters.
both that fail, then
And if that's their mandate,
you're pushing stop.
yeah.
I
But,
love that. I love that. Oh yeah, 4-star Dragon Ball for sure. And Inuyasha actor, my keychain is at home. I don't even think I brought my keys today.
You got
and
dropped
I'm so
off.
sorry because I would have. I know my husband drove me here. It's a bit icy out, and Mummy doesn't like to
She
carry
got
bins
chauffeured.
of Funko Pops on the ice, so he helped me. But I love my keychain that Inuyasha actor made me. Inuyasha actor 03. So follow him if you want to see what he's doing. Because at school he has a 3D printer. You guys, he keeps coming out.
I
with
want
cool
one of
stuff.
those.
He's working that 3D printer. When you graduate, it's going to be a very sad day. You need your own 3D printer.
We'll be sad.
Can I address a question here that I'm not going to be able to address very well, but I'm going to do it
Okay,
anyway?
go for the
Do
goal.
it.
Then I got
Do
one
it.
too.
It's about the, what do you guys make of the over 9,000 line becoming a timeless meme? And for Kai, did you go for accuracy over 8,000 or the over 9,000?
I feel bad for Brian Drummond having a.
Well, I didn't even know it was a thing until it came up.
He's got
with
the
Kai.
hat. Yeah.